Hello, welcome back. Well, as you can probably guess, I'm not on the plot today. I am in fact in my garden. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I ordered a chicken coop because I'm going to have some chooks. And there was a little bit of a delay on delivery. So I phoned the company up and said, you know, what's going on? And they said, oh, popular demand, same old story, this, that and the other, but it'll be with you. So waited in yesterday and only half of the order turned up, which I wasn't happy about. So I gave them a ring and said, you know, what's going on? Oh, we didn't realise we're only up the road from you. So I said, right, fine, I'll come and get it. So I drove over, picked up the other box and we're good to go. So this weekend, that's the project, is get this coop up. I'm not going to bore you to death with step-by-step, like a how-to on doing everything with it, but we'll just come back sort of stage by stage and I'll just show you how far I get with it. One little tip I will give you is with these prefabricated sheds, coops, anything like that, before you go flying into it, check you've got all the components. If you're missing a couple of screws, that's not a biggie. You can go up to your hardware store, you can get a couple of replacement screws or fittings, whatever you need. But if you're missing like a whole end panel or the roof, that's a bit of a different ball game. And if you've already assembled the thing, then you know they're going to say to you, oh, that's fine, don't worry, box it back up and we'll send you a replacement. Well, that's a bit difficult if you've already assembled the thing, only to find out that you're missing bits. So do check first. Okay, so we've got it out of the box. There's all the run and all the different bits and pieces. As you can see, it's all this fine sort of 10mm square chicken wire. And what I'm quite impressed about is actually the overall finish of it. Everything, all the edges are all beveled off. Everything's treated as well. It's got drilled dowel holes and drill holes. As far as the actual coop itself goes, that's all there. We've got this tray, this stainless steel tray that slides in the bottom, and that's going to be able to slide that in and out and make for easy cleaning. They've even felted the roof for me. Brilliant. So, and I've got hinges already on. So this looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward getting this thing together. Even got a little window for the chooks, look. Okay, I apologise because I'm going to have to do a lot of this freehand. But the first step is to go with putting the actual coop itself together. I'm a great believer in following instructions, and my plan was to get that bit over there done first, but let's do it by the book. So basically you've got 4 panels, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and they're fitted together with just 4 screws each side. So one there, where are we? The other one down here, and then you can come around the other side, same again, one there, one there, and the same opposite. So once you've got that together, then they want you to put this on the metal bar, which basically allows you to shut the coop at night, and then in the morning, without actually having to go inside it, you can open it back up and just fold that away down there like so. So that's that bit. The next job is to get the nest box, which is going to be sited on the back of that. So far, so good. I'm very, very impressed with this. Everything is lining up. The holes that are pre-drilled are all lining up. So this is actually going together really, really well. It's easier than Meccano, I would say. Anyway, back to it. So this is the nest box, and this is going to basically site itself on the back of there like so. You've got 1, 2, 3 panels. They fit together here with 2 bolts, and they've got the nuts on the inside. These ones which are supplied are going to be fitting through those holes there, like so, and they will be locating into these sunken nuts that are already in place, like that. So that's that bit done. Another good thing as well that I've found with this, every single bag of components has got 1 extra fitting in it. Normally you get 1 less, but no, fair play to the manufacturer on this one. So I'm going to get that fitted up, and then we'll come back to the next bit. So we've got the roof on now for the nest box. The hinges here are a little bit fiddly to get in. I found that just by lifting the lid up a little bit like that allowed me to line up the holes neatly, but they're all in there now. And it was worth also these three here that actually go into the actual roof, they were a little bit loose, so I've just tightened them back up. The only fault I can see so far with it is if we come around this side and have a look, because the sun will be behind me, excuse me wobbling the camera, there is this little gap under here. Now I'm not sure why that's there, to be fair. I think it's probably a cost issue, because they could have just continued that straight up. However, I will probably just fill that in at a later date, because otherwise there's you can get a finger through there, which means you could probably get a mouse through there as well. It also might be a bit drafty for the girls when they're laying, so yeah, I'm not exactly sure why that's there, but that's the only fault I can see so far. And obviously on the back here you've got these ventilation covers as well, because obviously ventilation is quite important inside there, but I'm not so sure if it's so important where they're actually going to be laying eggs. Maybe one of you guys can let me know. So I've now got the run assembled. I've not fixed it to the actual coop yet. I haven't put the roof on any of it because I'm not actually ready to site this yet. What I said earlier on is I want to remove these paving slabs that are inside here and get a shot of them. So what I've done, I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. You might be able to just see there's a pencil line along there, and it follows through here like that. I've offered all this up to it and worked out exactly where this eventually needs to be. So now I'm going to get an angle grinder with a diamond blade, cut through those slabs, because there's no real need for me to move them. Incidentally, if you haven't got an angle grinder, if you mark up your slabs like this with a pencil line and then mark the wastage side, you can lift the slabs up, take them to your local stonemason, and they'll more than happily cut those for you, and you'll get a nice clean cut. You'll find most stonemasons are quite accommodating, and they'll put it on their diamond wet saws and cut them down for you. So then the next job is, obviously once I've cut those, get those old slabs out and away, and then it'll be a case of popping one course of these blocks around with the sand and cement on top. I'm going to do quite a weak mix in case I ever have to knock this apart, so it'll be 5 to 1. That's 5 parts sand, 1 part cement. And then once the blocks are in, cemented up, I'll leave it a couple of hours, come and put all this back on top, and finish off the last bits and bobs. But I'll just show you inside it what it looks like, because it's quite impressive. There's your 2 little nest boxes. There's a couple of perches. There's the frame, and obviously the little chooks go out through their hole there. And then as and when you need to, obviously you get to the back here, lift up, grab your eggs. Excellent. But yeah, it's all right. Quite pleased with that as it goes. It's not very big either, which is great. Don't take up a lot of room, and I reckon you can get 4 nice sized birds in there, no problem at all. They'll be quite comfortable. I still haven't made up my mind yet. I'm quite fancying the idea of a couple of bantams, and I've asked one of the big chicken groups, chicken forums on Facebook, for their opinion, and I've had quite a nice bit of feedback from the Facebook forum that we've got, because we've got quite a few keen chicken people in there as well. So anyway, enough waffling on from me, back in a bit. Right, so I've got those slabs out. Up that end there was a load of hardcore and rubble and all sorts of stuff in there, so I've pretty much taken it out. I've taken it out down to about a depth of about 3 inches, I suppose, right the way through. Put all the mud spoil up in here because that's all going back in a bit. Now I do know that the patio as it is going downhill that way. So this is going to be my shallower end, and this is where I'm going to start with my blocks, and then I shall level off as I go all the way along, and that'll give me a level base. So unfortunately though, looking at that sort of sky, looks like the weather might be against me, but hey, let's keep going, see what happens. Okay, so I've now got my blocks in, and I will be painting that at some point. Not really because it's aesthetically pleasing, but probably just to cover up my horrendous bricklaying skills. I am not a bricklayer. I might have been a stonemason for 20 years, but my bricklaying skills are somewhat desired. So if you're a bricklayer, forgive me. Anyway, so I suppose they're a bit, how about 3 inches, I suppose, lower than the paving that I've got along here. And then in the bottom, you'll notice I've put chicken wire in, and I've put that up flush to each side of the blocks, and then I've put the remainder of the sand and the cement I had all the way around it. So that's just going to act like a barrier to anything that's going to tunnel underneath or live in and underneath it, and then it can't get up. And if it's not got no food source there, then that's the end of the argument as far as I'm concerned. But so next job then, I've got to get all this soil, I'm going to chuck that in the bottom, and then it'll be a case of mulching over the whole lot, and then when it's all set and everything else, I can get the coop up on top of it, and then I'm going to secure the coop with some little steel brackets to the blocks, and that's it. It's ready for the girls. Well, that's it folks, it's all done, and just in good time as well, because the weather really is starting to come in now. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with it actually. I think it's going to be good. I think the girls will like it. So I've got about 4 inches of my special mulch in the bottom of there, and it's on the blocks. The only last job I've got to do really is just make sure that I get some little fixings to fix this to the blocks, because otherwise it could blow a little bit. It's a little bit sort of wobbly, but apart from that, I'm really pleased with it. So anyway, till the next time, see you soon.